Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good tomorrow, or whatever time it is, wherever you are right now. This is John Pershing Smith, or JP to my friends, and I'm going to be your host on this podcast today. And our story today is about winning. It's about what I did and what you can do the same. And this story is detailed, so GAP, grab a pen and take 15 to 20 minutes of your time to increase your income tenfold, and always be a shining example for others to follow. Always treat your team players with the utmost of respect. Show them. Always let them see you do it first. Here we go. Have you prepared for success? That's the name of the talk today. Have you prepared for success? And what are you doing on a daily basis to learn about your industry and to change your outlook from a mindset of just getting by or having a poverty mindset to one of a prosperity mindset or an abundance mindset, if you will? I'm going to share some things with you that really helped me in my early career that continues today. Folks, I believe it all begins with attitude, and every day I wake up, God gives me two choices. I can be in a bad mood and make everybody around me miserable all day, or I can have a positive attitude. I can feel good about life and make everyone I come in contact with feel a little bit better about themselves. See, you can have an attitude of winning in business and in life just as easily as you can have a poverty or losing mentality. Let me start this by telling you about my journey and what I did along the way to become better at what I did. After I graduated from high school, I went to work in a retail store and made that my full-time occupation for about 20 years, and that included becoming a store manager for a large chain and then owning my own retail sporting goods store. I also started working part-time in a network marketing arena with Salad Master Cookware, to which I was introduced by some dear friends of mine from way back in the past. During that time, and as a very young man, I had the great fortune to meet the incredible Zig Ziglar in 1964. I became an instant fan and a student of his work, and of course I adopted this from him: you can have everything in life you want if you just help enough other people get what they want. See, that helping others mentality, that became my focus, even in my store management, from our customers all the way to the employees. And as I went about my life and working part-time in the MLM business, while I continued running retail stores, I began listening to other major motivational speakers, the amazing Earl Nightingale in his Strangest Secret series, the great Norman Vincent Peale and Dale Carnegie and Napoleon Hill of Think and Grow Rich, etc. And by the way, when I received the Earl Nightingale set, it was on 33 1/3 records, and when cassette tapes came into being, I converted them to cassette. Well, in 1980, I closed my store and I started full-time in the team building and sales industry. I traveled to appointments and presentations with a portable tape player, playing those tapes until some of them simply wouldn't play anymore. I would record every presentation I did back then, and then I would play it back on my way home, critiquing what I said and how I said it. See, you have to practice what you're doing to become perfect at it, or at least to become good at it. Well, then came Paul J. Meyer of Success Motivation Institute, or SMI. I had the great fortune to meet and have dinner with once, and Dennis Waitley, Les Brown, Jim Rohn, etc. And my favorite quote from Paul J. Meyer is, quote, "Whatever you vividly imagine, ardently desire, sincerely believe, and enthusiastically act upon must inevitably come to pass." I loved it. That became me. Let me repeat that. Whatever you vividly imagine, so you got to see it. What you ardently desire, what you sincerely believe in, and what you enthusiastically act upon must inevitably come to pass. See, then came my 10-year tenure with the incredible Art Williams, where I became a national sales director, and I emulated him. I practiced his same speeches until people began to ask me if I was related to Art. I visited him in the home office in Duluth, Georgia, and at his awe-inspiring Antebellum Mansion in Monroe, Georgia, many times. I wanted to get to know him better and find out more about what drove this man to greatness. Well, Art and his most gracious wife, Angela, came to my hometown of Brunswick, Georgia, the 6th of July, 1986, and did a special meeting for my team where he did his now famous Just Do It. That was long before Nike, by the way. This after we had just spent a couple of weeks earlier in Maui at a retreat where we were able to hang out around him and the other multi-million-dollar stars like my upline bullet Bob Turley and more. Well, then I spent some years with Excel Telecommunications, traveling the United States and parts of Canada, doing my own motivational and training seminars, always recording, remember, always recording, always critiquing, always trying to get better. Well, a friend and I then started a training center in Atlanta where I met some really great friends that I still have today, like Bobby Hornbrook and Johnny Henderson and Kenny Gilmore and many more. Well, we ran training along with some other great trainers every Friday afternoon and Saturdays, attracting hundreds every weekend for this training, and that went on for a year and a half. All that to say this. It's often been said that if you want to be successful, you have to find successful people and do exactly what they do. Listen to them. Hear the things they share about what they did and what they do and how they felt about helping other people to win. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to be successful and you aren't trying to copy what successful people are doing, it's going to be a long, hard road for you trying to get there. So you got to find some successful person or persons that you can strive to be like. Some people to emulate. You want to watch what they do, act like they act, listen to their strategies, watch how they treat other people, try to become their twin, their clone in every way possible. The great golf champion Gary Player was once approached by a fan that said enthusiastically, "Mr. Player, I would give anything to be able to play golf like you." To which the champion replied, "No, you don't. If you did, you would be out here with me at daybreak and hit 1,000 golf balls. You would swing so many times just your hands would start to bleed. People think it just comes natural to me. Well, it doesn't. It takes the will to win, and it takes preparation. It takes hitting that golf ball 1,000 times a day to become a winner. If you want to learn to play golf like me, be here tomorrow morning at daybreak." See, folks, you got to start working at winning. You can't just sit idly by and wait for something good to come along. You can't wait for luck to come find you. It won't. People have said to me, "JP, how is it that you always seem to make it into the upper echelon in companies you join? Man, I wish I was as lucky as you are." And I would always say, and I still say today, well, you can. If you get yourself out there where luck can find you, you can count on one thing. It ain't going to come looking for you in your big recliner watching football or basketball or some mindless movie. It ain't going to come looking for you on a golf course or on your fishing boat or on the bank fishing. It's not going to come looking for you in the woods hunting or in a sports bar somewhere. You've heard the old saying that luck happens when opportunity and preparation intersect, where they meet, when they come together. See, say that word, preparation. Preparation is the key. Let me ask you a question. Would you rather be prepared for a greatness that might take years to come along, or have it come along and not be prepared? See, some of you might say, "Well, that's the old way of doing things. I do my marketing online, so I don't have to do all those things." And you could be right to some extent, but overall, you still have to prepare yourself to win. Here's some things you have to learn about online marketing too. See, you have the great fortune of not having to travel to appointments like I did, to presentations, traveling before there was such a thing as GPS and cell phones. You have to do like I did, stopping on the side of the road sometime with a flashlight and a map, trying to find out where you were going. Looking for a payphone booth somewhere, hoping that the receiver was still connected to the box and the phone still worked. So you can't even find those anymore, right? Yeah, it can be much easier today, but either way, you better be prepared for success by watching videos of the same things I read about and listened to on cassettes. Oh, you don't have to listen to them on cassettes today. You can listen to them through your phone or through your laptop. Today, you need to learn about sales funnels and lead generations and autoresponders and following up with prospects and getting them on three-ways, getting them on the conference calls and webinars, etc. See, I've heard people say, like, I just don't have time for those training calls, those update calls. I don't really need that motivational stuff, that fluff. I just need the meat and potatoes, the details of exactly how everything works. I don't want to have to listen to those recordings. I just need you to give me the highlights. In other words, they just want somebody to spoon feed them. Nope, it doesn't work that way. If you want the gold, you got to go do the digging. But you know what, folks? There's an old saying that you got to kiss a lot of frogs to find the prince. You got to sift through a lot of mud to find a nugget. You got to go through a lot of people to find the stars. You see, you have to find people who are sick and tired of being stuck in their comfort zone. They are out there too. They are everywhere. We just got to look for them. See, there are people out there who are also sick and tired of being sick and tired. They want to win. You just need to go find them. See, they want to do something better for their families and their friends and their relatives, for their church, for their communities, for the less fortunate people of our world. They don't want to stay stuck in a rut. They want to break free and enjoy the kind of life reserved for the winners in our society. They've been preparing for success. They've been reading the books. They've been listening to the tapes. They've been listening to the CDs. They've been watching the videos. They've been on the calls. They have the willingness to prepare to win. Here we go. They have the willingness to prepare to win. They deserve to win. See, anybody can have the will to win, but the ones who are going to win are the ones who have the willingness to prepare to win. See, they deserve to win. See, they just need for you to find them, work with them, nurture them, guide them, lead them, love them, help them to become winners. And you've heard this before. It's an old cliche. The only place success comes before work is in the dictionary. See, there are people who think they're going to become successful just because they came from a privileged background. You probably know some of them. Or because they skated through school without much effort. That think they're going to make it because they're better looking or prettier than somebody else. Well, let me tell you something. They have another think coming. They're a bunch of good-looking, highly educated, and in high school, they might have been the most likely people to succeed. People that are now working menial jobs. They operate on the theory that they are the chosen ones. You probably know some people like them. Well, folks, one of my favorite sayings came from old Zig Ziglar. Zig's going on to meet his maker now, but he said the cleanliness of theory is no match for the mess of reality. See, the cleanliness of theory, see, everybody can figure it out. That the cleanliness of theory is no match for the mess of reality. You see, ladies and gentlemen, winning isn't pretty. Winning isn't easy. Winning isn't for sissies. Winning isn't for the lazy. Winning isn't for quitters. What winning is for those who are willing to make it happen. It's for those people with the will to win, but is mostly reserved for those who have the willingness to prepare to win. You see, it's reserved for those who don't wait for others to bring them the info, for the ones that don't expect others to do all the learning and sharing the highlights for them so that they don't have to do the work. It's like in football. The ones who have the willingness to prepare to win are the players who are on the practice field first, and they're the last ones to leave. They're the ones who are in the film room studying the game films the longest. The ones who are in the weight room first and the last to leave. The ones who are encouraging their teammates to do the same. Those are the winners. See, those are people like you, ladies and gentlemen. You're here. You're listening. You have the willingness to prepare to win. And let me tell you this as I begin to wind this down. I like to surround myself with people who want to win, who have a serious desire to better themselves and to help other people do the same. I like to be with leaders that I know have mine and my teammates' best interests at heart. The ones that I know will work just as hard as me. See, you've been preparing for it. Now it's time for you to go make it happen. Ladies and gentlemen, leaders become leaders because they have done all of the things I've discussed here today. And they and you have earned the title leader. Now go lead. See, I'm not bragging about this, folks, because I worked hard for it, but today I'm 100% retired. I spend my days singing, which is one of my loves, and recording this singing, and recording stories like the one you're listening to right now, and enjoying the fruits of my labor of a lifetime. And my wish is that you one day will be able to do the same thing. But you got to be willing, you got to have the willingness to prepare to win. I hope you enjoyed today's teaching story, and I thank you for letting me share it with you. And to quote the incredible Mr. Paul Harvey of days past, now you have the rest of the story. Good day. Thank you for joining us, folks. I look forward to seeing you all in the winner's circle. God bless you. Make it a great rest of the day. Goodbye for now.